Hi guys, it's Debbie, and today I would like to speak about Dunkirk, an upcoming film directed by the one and only Christopher Nolan. Many of you know just how much I love all of Nolan's works. I struggle to find flaws in them, and I have enjoyed each and every single product he has created. I consider him one of the most important and influential artists of our era, so obviously I am very excited for this film. I wasn't able to see this film's prologue, which was screened in selected cinemas, and although I am highly tempted, I am avoiding searching for it online as I want to keep the final experience of watching this film as complete as possible. But just a couple of days ago, the new trailer was released, offering us a deeper look at what is actually going on in this film. Dunkirk is the story of a real event which took place during the Second World War in France, and in particular off the shores of a small town called Dunkirk. In 1940, a group of Allied soldiers which was in this town was left surrounded by the German army, so the film should mainly concern this situation of being cut off and the desperate attempts at evacuating this French town. Nolan's work returns on screens with his team of recurring figures. As a matter of fact, we have actors Tom Hardy and Cillian Murphy, which worked alongside the director in Inception and the Dark Knight trilogy. Then we have cinematographer Hoyte van Hoytema, whose works also include Interstellar, and then producer Emma Thomas, which is also Nolan's partner. The music is again composed by Nolan's long-lasting work partner Hans Zimmer, who also created the memorable soundtracks to the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception and Interstellar. The complete cast also includes James D'Arcy, Mark Rylance and surprise element Harry Styles. The internet has been complaining about the choice of including Harry Styles in the cast, mostly because of his affinity with pop group One Direction. Personally, I'm not afraid for this casting choice. I'm pretty confident Nolan and his collaborators chose Styles based on features which would surely enrich the film. Always remember that many of us wouldn't have cast Heath Ledger as the Joker or Juno's main actress Ellen Page in Inception. Instead, many of the secondary characters, such as the numerous soldiers on the beach, are played by unknown actors, as Nolan wanted to convey the inexperience of many young men at war. This film has been presented to us as a war survival movie, but Nolan has already stated that it will have a triptych structure, so it will be based on 3 different points of view: earth, sea and air. As a matter of fact, already in the trailer we have different and contrasting situations. So we have soldiers flying in fighter planes while others run through the streets of Dunkirk, and then the battle at sea. So I believe the film won't be a simple war movie. And knowing Nolan's mastermind, I guess that these 3 elements will overlap, and there will be a huge thrill and suspense created by the union of the triptych structure. Nolan has already advised that there will be a complication in the simplicity of this film. Another element we can draw from the film is the limited dialogue, because it is a rather loud trailer, but if you listen carefully, most of the noise is just created by background music and the sound of the war. This is because Nolan drew inspiration from silent films and wanted to create an experimental movie stimulating sensations through limited dialogue. This goal Nolan is aiming at is based on the concept of not creating a character's single story, but on the contrary focusing on the survival element of the film, the desperation of wanting to get out of this hellish situation. This trailer again makes me appreciate just how Christopher Nolan is extremely able in handling a variety of genres. His works vary from science fiction movies such as Interstellar to thrillers. Look at Inception. He fluidly shifts from the stories of homicide detectives in Insomnia to rival magicians in the 1800s in The Prestige, and all of his art is permeated with a constant psychological analysis. Christopher Nolan loves to explore the human mind and challenge the audience with structured plots, ethical questions and interconnected storylines. So I believe Dunkirk won't only focus on the physical effects of World War II, but also on the psychological components of fear, anxiety and survival instinct. Already the trailer's ticking rhythm underlines the passing of time and incoming danger, so Hans Zimmer could have reintroduced some of the anxiety-inducing feelings typical, for example, of the Interstellar soundtrack, in which some scenes sounded like a timer counted down our last hours or minutes. Time has been a recurrent element in Nolan's latest works, so it's not a huge risk saying that the evacuation of Dunkirk could be a race against time. As always, even the visual beauty of this film is already breathtaking. I believe we will be stepping into into an aesthetic masterpiece with limited use of computer-generated imagery. I'm so excited. Hoyte van Hoytema's work in Interstellar was absolutely amazing, and as Nolan said, the story you're trying to tell is inseparable from the imagery you use. Let me know if you also have high expectations for Dunkirk with a comment here below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe for many more movie related videos. See you soon. Bye.